Hey guys, and welcome to another video. So you've probably reached the 3 million mark and you're looking for a daily German mid-size SUV. So today we have two options. We have the BMW X3 and we have the Audi Q5. If you look at both of these vehicles, you'll realize these are not your regular base model X3 and Q5, but let's start with the X3. So this is an M Sport trim package, meaning it has a different front and rear bumper and the side skirts. The side skirts make it look a little bit more butch, a little bit more masculine. But with the S-Line, majority of the differences are on the interior and with the suspension. So with the S-Line package, it has slightly lowered suspension and slightly stiffer suspension. But if you look at the interior of the Q5 S-Line, you realize it has sport bucket seats and the A, B and C pillars are all blacked out, making it look more stealthy. A couple of similarities between the Audi and BMW, such as with the engine and drivetrains. So with the Audi, this is powered by a 2-liter turbocharged petrol engine, making 211 horsepower and 350 Newton meters of torque. And this is paired with an 8-speed S-tronic transmission, and the party piece of the Audi is a quattro all-wheel drive system. So with the BMW, this is powered by a 2-liter diesel turbocharged engine, making 180 horsepower and 380 Newton meters of torque. This is paired with an 8-speed ZF transmission with the legendary X-Drive with the BMW. So I say this is a diesel. Yes, it is a diesel, and if you want a petrol version, we do have a petrol version in stock, and that's the same engine that comes in the BMW 320i, and it still makes 180 horsepower. But the difference in power, 180 horsepower, 211 horsepower. You might think that this is a lot of power, but trust me, it's not. Especially with the diesel, it comes up with more power in terms of torque. This has 30 more Newton meters of torque as compared to the Audi. Another similarity of these two is if you look at both of the headlights, they both have daytime running lights, and many people nowadays like the idea of having daytime running lights being seen all weather conditions. People know you're coming and it makes the car look stylish. I mean, just look at them. Don't you just love it? So the similarities between these two extends to the rear, starting with the taillights. If you look at the taillights of both of these cars, especially when it's dusk or late at night, it presents sort of a nice silhouette of both of them. Like, I'm sure if you guys have ever seen some of these silhouette videos, you can see a figure and you'll be able to tell what kind of thing that is. Same thing goes with these particular cars. But the main thing with them is with the trunk space. So the Audi has a power tailgate and the BMW has a manual tailgate. It's not a disadvantage, it's that the Audi has one more additional feature. But the main thing I want us to focus about is cargo space, because a guy who is buying this car probably wants to carry something once in a while. So the good thing, BMW and Audi thought of this, and they gave you a metallic shield of sorts. So if you're trying to put in something, they give you a very nice metallic finish here, so you're not going to scratch up any plastic bits. But cargo space is the main thing. So with the BMW, I've actually put down one seat. Let me do the same for this other seat. You'll realize I'll have to stretch into the car just for me to put down the seats, and the seats don't actually lock down in place. But the floor plan, if you finally look at it when all seats are down, is a very slight rise towards the end, maybe like a 5-degree rise. It's not that bad, and it's actually better than what you get in the Audi. So if you look at it, if you're trying to put in something, you might need to raise it, tilt it on the support brace just a little bit to get in. But onto the Audi, now the advantage of the Audi is you don't have to go into the interior to put down the seats. You can pull a lever. So let's put down this other lever. You'll find that the seats are slightly raised, like 1 or 2 centimeters raised as per the BMW. But the main disadvantage of this is you have a relatively big gap, sort of like a 5-centimeter gap. So if you have very small items, let's say as a random piece of cable or something of the sort, you might find that it's easy for it to get into the depression and you might forget about it. Now, both of these cars don't come with spare tires. So with the Audi, if you look at the bottom, you actually have a subwoofer, but both of them come with tire repair kits. So this one, you have your subwoofer at the bottom, but with this one, it gives you space for a tire repair kit, which goes here, but you'll notice that the battery for the BMW is down here. But apart from that, Both of them have very good materials, soft feel finishes on both of them. And the thing I love about this is there's no cheap rattly plastic. So you can be sure that if you're getting comfort at the front of the car and you're carrying cargo, your cargo is also going to be well protected, well insulated, and you're not going to worry about your cargo moving around and scratching things up. So it's well protected at the same time. So let's hop into the interior. Okay, so the back seat of the Q5. So as per usual, I've set the front seat position to where I'll be sitting when I'm driving. But you'll notice that I still have enough legroom. It's a little bit cramped, but you can actually lower the seat and adjust it lower slightly and just move this other one. And if you can see, it's a very nice place to be. The thing I like about the S-Line package of the Audi is the seat design and the material. So you have leather and you have cloth inserts. So if you're going round corners, okay, your driver is going round corners pretty quickly, you'll be able to be supported well enough. And the thing about Audi interiors is quality is top notch. Trust me, it's top notch. So you have your ashtray down here, and if you need your armrest and your cup holders, you're sorted. Then this particular S-Line also has a panoramic roof. So if you are a kid and you enjoy watching trees as they go by, nature, maybe a bird once in a while might land on this. It's a very nice place to be. So let's hop into the BMW and check out the back seat. The BMW, on the other hand, is actually still a very nice place to be. And the funny thing is the sitting position in this actually felt like I was stepping down into the BMW as compared to stepping up, which is a surprise because if you look at the dimensions of both cars, they're both very similar. But in the BMW, you realize that the materials, okay, it's both a leather and cloth interior, but the S-Line package really did a number on the interior of that particular one. And you still get the same features. Your handrest, your cup holders, you still have your ashtray, and at the end of the day, to be honest, it's a very, very hard decision to make. If I was a passenger, a designated passenger, would I choose the Audi or the BMW? It's a very hard choice. So let's hop into the front and maybe we can choose on what we'd like at the front. The cockpit of the X3 is a very nice place to be. And the thing that makes BMWs is the BMW iDrive system. So with the BMW iDrive system, you have a multitude of features, but let me just focus on some that I like. So we have the parking assist button, which is just down here. And this is a very handy feature, especially for new drivers. So when you click on the button, it gives you a physical display. So it's like a roof down kind of view of the car, and it has parking sensors at both the front and the rear. So what these parking sensors do is, as long as someone is in the vicinity of the vehicle, the graph over here shows you how close something is to your vehicle. So if you're trying to maneuver your car in a very tight parking position, you can monitor the display and you'll be able to correct accordingly. Another thing is such as if you're a guy who likes going off-roading, you have features like downhill assist. So with downhill assist, all you do is click it, set your speed, and if you're going down, let's say a steep embankment, and you don't want to keep on modulating your brake pedal, the car will do it automatically for you. So if you set at 5 kilometers per hour, the car will hold 5 kilometers an hour all the way down the hill. As I said, this is an X-Drive vehicle. Now, away from that for now, so let's go back to the seats. So the seats, it's an 8-way adjustable seat, and it has 2-way memory. With 2-way memory, that means like you can have 2 drivers for this particular car. You can have myself and my girlfriend. So I drive the car Monday to Friday, which is okay because my seat is set to my position. Then let's say over the weekend my girlfriend wants to go somewhere. All she has to do is set her position and click on number 2, and the seat will automatically adjust to her position. Unfortunately, the steering wheel is manual, so you'll have to do that manually, but that's not a big deal. So all in all, the interior of the X3 is a very nice place to be. Let's jump into the Audi and see the differences. So the first thing I did notice when I stepped into the Audi is my driving position in the Audi is slightly lower as compared to the X3. And surprisingly, with the back seat, it's actually the opposite. You felt like you're stepping down in the X3 and stepping up in the back seat on the Audi. But away from that, so another thing with these particular ones is the Audi interior feels way more updated than the BMW. Is it a bad thing? No, it's just up to personal preference. The guys who like the simplistic design of BMWs, there's no clutter, there's no many buttons as such. But with the Audi, it feels like you're sitting in an actual cockpit because everything is angled towards you. Like if you look at the center console, it has an angle towards you. So if you're driving, all you have to do is just glance. You don't have to worry about glare or anything like that. So it's a very, very modern and very nice design. And it's the same thing with the dashboard cluster. So the cluster has a digital screen in the middle, and some of the things that get shown on the Audi MMI system get displayed on the center console. So things like music you're listening to, radio settings, and some of the options are through the Audi MMI system. So these cars, they're very similar. I talked about downhill assist in the BMW. This one also has downhill assist. Parking sensors. So parking sensors, and it's the same exact format with the front and rear sensors. So as soon as someone crosses in front of you or an obstacle, the camera and the display will show you how close that is. So that's the same thing. But the main difference between the Audi MMI system and what you get in the iDrive is the Audi system is a little bit more modern and you have more functionalities in this. So let's say you go to your car settings, you have so many settings. So with your vehicle settings, you can adjust your seats, exterior lighting, central locking, you have your driver assist, and it has something called servicing and checks. So with servicing and checks, you can actually check your oil level on the cluster. The thing about the Audi that I failed to mention is it does not come with a physical dipstick. You can buy a dipstick, but from factory you'll just have to measure your oil through here. So let's say your wipers are dead and you need to adjust your wipers. You physically cannot remove your wiper blades when the wipers are down. You'll have to go into your Audi MMI system and adjust it from here. So you'll come, wiper change position, you switch it to on, and all in all, with the S-Line interior, like if you notice the seats, they have an S-Line badge, and these seats are way more bolstered as compared to what you get in the BMW. So at the end of the day, you have $3+ million to spend. What do you spend it on? It's a hard question, to be honest. If I had money myself, I think the best thing I'd do is I'd come to Mascardi, I'd book a test drive and decide from there. But at the end of the day, it's a very, very hard choice, and these cars are more similar than you could imagine. And there's one thing that I actually have forgotten to talk about, and it's a panoramic roof. We do have the X3 with a sunroof, and you can get the Q5 with the panoramic roof, and it does open. So we do have everything for you. If you want the Audi, if you want the BMW, just stop by and we'll be able to assist you in what you want. So that's been it for today, guys. I hope you've enjoyed the comparison today, and till next time.